Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm so happy to hear that. I'm already, I said this before, but I'm going to say it again because it bears repeating. I'm already stupid happy with this show, and it hasn't even started yet. Greg Greenway is real special to me in my history, and I will tell you all about him in just a little while. Kayla Farnham is a wonderful singer-songwriter. You saw her here the last time at Pass the Guitar. Our Connecticut State Troubadour is here to do an opening set, and we have a surprise guest. I'm going to tell you about him in just a second. But we want to just kind of send out a couple of good vibes, please, to Sam Carr, who is our usual photographer, not feeling so good tonight, and maybe just needs a little bit of extra healing and strength think from all y'all, and we appreciate that. Pinch hitting for Sam Carr, number 1, Dave Cooley. Right over there. So we're real happy for that. And thank you so much for coming to our shows. It's one of the honors of my life to be able to work with this committee and to introduce you guys to musicians that I love. Is this anybody's first time here? Okay, good. Yeah, keep that up and come back next month. This is, I think, the only donation-funded coffee house left anywhere. You could probably see Kayla Farnham next week with under a $30 cover. And I'm sure that that's true for Greg Greenway. This guy doesn't leave the house for less than $50 cover. And that's a whole different story. But thank you very much for coming to our shows and supporting what we do. We don't think that music is an elitist thing. We think it should be accessible to everybody. And Merredin's a real working class town, and we want people to be able to come to the shows. Nobody wants to pay $500 to see Bruce Springsteen, as great as he is. Does that make sense to you? Okay, good. So thanks for keeping donation-funded coffee houses alive. We appreciate you. I'm going to tell you about our sponsors, and thank you all so much again and again and again. But I'm going to give you a surprise guest today. This guy behind me, we've known each other for better than 30 years now. And for that entire time, he's been one of my favorite songwriters. We sat in a room not too long ago, and he played us 3 songs I had never heard before and dropped me like a sack of wet cement. Each one of them just knocked me out. So I asked him if he would come and sing a song for us, and then we'll have him back in the fall, if you like him. Okie dokie. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Al Raybuck.
This is a song about forgiveness. Asking for it maybe when you don't quite deserve it.
I don't pretend to know the hell I put you through. You have every right to go. I can't blame you if you do. All I ask of you is a little grace. One last time to heal what time can't erase. Can you forgive the unkind words I said in haste? All I ask of you is a little grace. I'd give anything to go back in time, but it's no use. You gave me your heart and your soul, but I left them broken and bruised. So all I ask of you is a little grace. One last time to hear what time can't erase. Forgive the unkind words I said in haste. All I can't erase. Can you forgive the unkind words you said in haste? All I ask of you, all I ask of you is a little grace.
When Al kisses me, our mustaches mingle, and it's like Velcro. Just kidding. All right, before I introduce the incredibly talented performer standing behind us, I'm going to say that there are two special shows happening in the next couple of days. Number one is Sunday. I am playing one of the biggest gigs of my entire life at the United Theater in Westerly, Rhode Island, opening up for Mark Douglas Berardo and Grace Morrison. I'm very happy about that. Thank you. But even more important than that is tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, Dave Cooley and Pat Coffey are playing at the Downtown Cafe in Meriden, Connecticut. So I'll be there for my coffee and egg sandwich, and I hope that you will be too. And we'll see you tomorrow at the Downtown Cafe. Folks, Kayla Farnham is everybody's favorite. Anybody that I talk to her about her has some story about how they saw her someplace at some little dinner theater or something like that. Or, they were talking about the bread box earlier. And she just astounds audiences wherever she goes. And she's a wonderful, wonderful representative for Connecticut music. Please welcome your Connecticut State Troubadour, Kayla Farnham.
Thank you. She lit her last smoke through oil-stained hands, sitting on the curb at the traveler's station, next to a rusted truck propped up on off-road wheels. The last rain's mud fresh on the grill guard. She's made of wanderlust. She rolls like a storm, on and on across the burning road. American drifter. She took her last puff, stomped out the flame, shook her head as she sized me up. She had a weathered tan and a butch cut. I must have looked like a rookie to her, with my AAA card, a wagon on wheels, ponytail and a sunburn. She's made of wanderlust. She rose like a storm, on and on across the burning road. American drifter. 1,000 miles from home, I cursed the road for playing jokes. Then she walks up to me, box of tools and WD, tosses me a trucker hat, sunscreen and a cigarette, and she said, "You look a whole lot like a younger me. You're made of wanderlust. You'll roll like a storm, sitting on the curb at the traveler's station. So there's a house in Key West, Florida that was once inhabited by a famous author named Ernest Hemingway. I had the chance to visit the house a couple years ago for the first time. The incredible thing about this home is that Ernest Hemingway wrote 70% of his works there. He found such a special kind of inspiration in this space that he couldn't find anywhere else, that he swore he was going to come back there in his afterlife. My personal favorite thing about this home is that the first thing you'll notice when you walk in is there's about 50 cats scattered about the property. They're all relatives of the original six-toed Hemingway cat, who was supposedly good luck for fishermen. A few blocks down from mile zero, in a sun-washed fishing town, above the tangled roots of the banyan trees, where the six-toed cats abound, there's a house built of native stone and pilgrim spirit's heart. 16 feet above the sea, where Ernest's heart poured out. If you build it, they will come. It takes one part stone, two pilgrim heart. Honey, you can start nothing till the foundation's laid down. If you build it from the ground up, the rest will come. There's a clarity in paradise, and this house was made to hold it. Amid these coral limestone walls excavated from the island, there's something about a home that's built from the groundwork up. They say the builder never really leaves, their spirit lingers on. If you build it, they will come. It takes one part stone, two pilgrim heart. Honey, you can start nothing till the foundation's laid down. If you build it from the ground up, the rest will come. Last night I saw Hemingway's ghost step out on the balcony. I guess once a home finds you, it keeps a piece of you inside it. If you build it, they will come. It takes one part stone, two pilgrim heart. Honey, you can start nothing till the foundation if you build it from the ground up, if you build it from the ground up, the rest will come. So I'm currently serving as the Connecticut State Troubadour, which is a program that's been running since about the early 90s, late 80s. And it's a program dedicated to promoting cultural literacy in the state of Connecticut through music, through songwriting. So I decided to take this opportunity as a chance to write a series of songs inspired by Connecticut trailblazers. This one is a true story. It's called David. David sat across from me one cold November afternoon. The look in his eye carried me to a place that he once knew. Daddy left when he was 4 months old. Hasn't seen him since then, maybe when he's older. Lived in a shelter, Mama worked a 15-hour day, so they wouldn't take her only baby away. Everywhere they moved, he was the new kid at school. The bullies and the brutes, they all made sure that he knew. And Mama tried to help, worse when the bruises showed up darker the next day. So David learned to smile and say, Mama, I'm okay. David was a smart kid, he knew he had to do something one day. He rallied up all the other bullied ones. He said, there's strength in numbers and together we can fight this. And they did. Nobody's bothered those kids since. That's how David learned to fight for justice. David joined the army out of high school. They taught him duty, honor, service, sacrifice. He painted crimson X's on the houses, counted up the casualties. Now there's things he saw that he just can't unsee. I know it hurts when he closes his eyes, reliving the times he had to fight for his life. If there's nothing I can say to take the nightmares away, I'll be here on the other side. to prove there's life beyond these old bruises. David sat across from me one cold November afternoon. He opened up his eyes and he came to, and he said, sometimes it's gonna hurt when you close your eyes. Living the times we had to fight for our lives. If there's nothing we can do but to see each other through, I'll be here on the other side to prove there's life beyond these old bruises. Life beyond these old bruises. So open up your eyes, 'cause you are home. In 1852, Harriet Beecher Stowe had a book published called Uncle Tom's Cabin. Hand to pen, pen to ink, day by day, story to page, word by word. A girl can change the world. A pen becomes a sword, and the girl becomes a voice. '36, Cincinnati riots, bloodshed on the street. I tended to the wounded, listened to their stories. Stories of mothers losing children, of children sold away, of plantation workers toiling, beaten to their knees. And I was too small to do a thing. What could I do but wield my pen and try? Hand to pen, pen to ink, day by day, story to page, word by word. A girl can change the world. A pen becomes a sword, and the girl becomes a voice. They say I am the most cussed. They say I am the most discussed author of my time. The little girl that wrote the book that started this great war, this great divide. I was too smart to do a thing. What could I do but wield my pen and write? Hand to pen, pen to ink, day by day, story to page, word by word. A girl can change the world. A pen becomes a sword, and the girl becomes a voice. Thank you. This one's inspired by the story of Little Red Riding Hood, but it's got a little twist to it. It's called My Kind of Fairy Tale. Little girl in a big red coat with a basket of bread in the woods all alone. What will you do when he catches your scent? Miss fearless and trusting and heaven sent. Mama warned you to stay on the path in the big dark woods. You gotta watch your back. They'll say when he catches you that it's all your fault. Pretty little girls like you shouldn't walk alone. And she laughs as she says to me, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. I go where I please. No big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. That's my kind of fairy tale. She don't need a savior, she's got this herself. Underneath a bigger red coat is a little black belt. Underneath the bread and the butter and the fruit is a switchblade at the ready. And she laughs as she says to me, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. I go where singing, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf. Ooh, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. I go where I please. No big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. That's my kind of fairy tale. That's my kind of fairy tale. That's my kind of fairy tale. Thank you. Oh, Elijah, he's a man on the run. The Lord knows what he's been running from. Said he had a ticket to Redemption City. He was just a little late to the gate at the train station. And now I see him racing to the end of the tracks with the wind in his hair and the monsters at his back. What he's looking for, I hope he finds it. Oh, Elijah, you're a heart of gold. They just don't realize. They say he's wild as the rising sun, shooting over horizon after horizon. They say he's a straight shot burn, no chaser. And I'm a whiskey shooting gambler for his love. So if you see him racing to the end of the tracks with the fire in his eyes and the storm at his back, would you tell him he's always on my mind? Oh, Elijah, you're a heart of gold in my eyes. Oh, Elijah, Elijah, oh, Elijah, Elijah. He's only loved a woman by the light of the moon. When his scent is fresh upon his skin, that's when he's gonna get running. I'm gonna take me on a run for my money. If love is a marathon, I don't wanna quit too soon. I got my ticket to the sky, and I'm calling shotgun when Elijah comes flying by. One day I'm gonna meet him at the end of the tracks with the mud in my hair and all hell on my back. He's gonna wonder, how'd you find me? Whoa, Elijah, takes one to know one. That's how I always knew I'd find you down the line. Oh, Elijah, Elijah. Oh, Elijah, Elijah. Oh, Elijah, Elijah. Well, thank you all so much for listening. It's such a treat to play here. I came here the first time several weeks ago for the Pass the Guitar event, and it's just such a beautiful space for music, and a beautiful space for community. So I'm so glad that we're all here together. Thank you, Frank, for inviting me. And that was a wonderful first song by Al. And I'm really looking forward to hearing Greg Greenway, who is just a phenomenal songwriter and singer and a beautiful human being who writes with a purpose. So there's a lot to look forward to tonight. This one's inspired by a trailblazer you might know. Her name is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. University, 1950. I was a first-year woman in a class of 500 men. At the so-called welcome dinner, the dean asked me to stand up, asked me what was I doing taking a seat that could belong to a man. And I was a girl, I kept up with the boys, jumping from rooftop to rooftop. I run head to head with every man, not because I'm different, but because every woman can. Some call me a good witch, some call me a bad witch, some call me some call me a queen, I call it as I see it, call out for equality. Mama said, whatever you do, be a lady, be independent, be able to fend for yourself. I ask no favor for my gender. All I ask of my brethren is that they keep their feet off our neck. Some call me a good witch, some call me a bad witch, some call me a monster, some call me a queen. I call it as I see it, call out for equality. There will be no second-class citizen. Together we will rise up and fight with a quiet confidence. Some call me a good witch, Some call me a bad witch, some call me a monster, some call me a queen. I call it as I see it. Call out for equality. Equality. Thank you so much.
Folks, that's Kayla Farnham right there. Folks, thank you so much for being here. We're going to take a little bit of a short break, but I just wanted to tell you that it takes a real big, giant committee to, put on these shows. So go out over there to the merch table and put your name on the mailing list. Maybe buy a T-shirt, say hi to Kathy and all the folks that help us put on shows here at the old church. I'm going to give you about 12 minutes. In 12 minutes, we're going to start the show right here with Greg Greenway. Is that okay? All right. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. How are you? Good. Thank you very much again for being at the Old Church Acoustic Series. You probably know that you can go to oldchurchacoustic.com, that's old with an E, and you see the video equipment here. We film every show that we've ever done, and they're all beautiful and wonderful, and you can go online and watch them for nothing. Imagine? That's pretty good. There's a bunch of people that help us put these shows on. First Church, of course, right here. This is an honor for us to be in this building. This is a really important building to a lot of people in Meriden, and it's an honor for us to be here. I've seen weddings and funerals here, and they even have a drive-up, get this, you ready? Drive-up ashes. That's fantastic. I didn't even realize that kind of stuff existed. February 14, you can get drive-up ashes right here at the church. They do a whole bunch of stuff here, and that's a lot of fun. Prentice Printing always makes us look good with the signs. Marketing, graphics. Telefunken gives us these fancy microphones. Susie O'York Hill wrote us a big fat check. Was anybody here for that? That was a nice one, right? They've been in Meriden for 125 years. Gallery 53 right across the street. Meriden Parks and Rec, always. Okay, but you know that our biggest sponsor is you. Donation-funded coffee house is hard to... it's not financially sound. We're not business people. Okay? But we do love music, and we do love people who love music, and we love you for being here. I'm going to be holding this bucket after the show right over there. And if you drop some money in the beginning, that's great and wonderful, and thank you very much. If you brought friends here this time, and you came by yourself last time, thank you very, very much. You know, the church is a non-profit, too. You could just write them a check and then write it off. Talk about it with your tax guy in a couple of weeks. It's a nightmare. Okay, good. Thank you. The gentleman standing behind me is more special to me. Thank you. And he's funny, too. In about 1986 or 1987, I was a student at North Adams State College. And I was just bought an acoustic guitar, and I was just kind of getting into that whole thing. And I saw a performer at the Sullivan Lounge on the campus, and it was Greg Greenway. And he absolutely knocked me out. He did, all my favorite songs, and the songs that he wrote were just beautiful. I could sing every word to Tennessee right now off his first cassette, I think, called like Goodnight Mrs. Papadopoulos. Don't tempt me. Tennessee said that's high for me. And you know what? That's high for me. Yeah. I remember leaving that show in 1987 feeling so good I could have dunked a basketball. I floated all the way home. And ever since then, I watched this guy, and I got just more and more happy and proud of him every single time. He absolutely knocks it out of the park every performance, but he's got a heart, too. And he's a warm and special man. I'm going to shut up and give you Greg Greenway.
What a beautiful space this is. And how about another round of applause for Kayla Farnham? What a nice job. Yeah. You get in a place like this, I know what you want to do. Yeah. Okay, here's your chance. Yeah, yeah. And then we can cover all the lyrics in the universe. No, yes. That's the blues right there. No, yeah. I'm sorry, I enunciated way too much on the yes. Yeah. It's a mighty long way from over yonder. It's a mighty long way from there to here. We're gonna take it, oh yes, one step at a time, so that we can make that walk from there to here. Now here's how this works. Oh, it's a mighty long way, it's a mighty long way from over yonder, from over yonder. Now it's a mighty long way, it's a mighty long way from there to here, from there to... Then you let me do it. We're gonna take it, oh yes, one step at a time, so that we can make that walk from there to here. Now, if you really feel good about it, you can ooh through that part, but that's a lot of words in there. All right? Oh, it's a mighty long way, from over yonder. It's a mighty long way, from there to here. We're gonna take it, oh yes, one step at a time, so that we can make that walk from there to here. This is a song I wrote for then Representative John Lewis, because he could look out the window of the Capitol and he could look right straight down to the Lincoln Memorial where he spoke in August of 1963. Oh, what can a man see who outside his window? It's a whole lifetime from there to here. And all those people who gave their sweat and their blood so that he could make that walk from there to here. Oh, it's a mighty long way, it's a mighty long way from over yonder. No, it's a mighty long way from there to here. We're gonna take it, oh yes, one step at a time, so that we can make that walk from there to here. Now every child born who is a revolution, is a revolution with a song inside. Some won't hear it, oh, some hear nothing else. He'll sing night and day just to keep that song alive. Oh, it's a mighty long way from over yonder. It's a mighty long way from there to here. We're gonna take it, oh yes, one step at a time, so that we can make that walk from there to here. Now when you've got a dream, you got to stand up and shout it loud and clear. What's that I'm hearing? It's the voice of the people singing that we will make that walk from there to here. Oh, it's a mighty long way from over yonder. It's a mighty long way from there to here. We're gonna take it, oh yes, one step at a time, so that we can make that walk from there to here. So that we can make that walk from there to here. So that we can make that walk from there to here. long time ago, read a poem written by one of the great souls, Maya Angelou. And it was called Preacher, Don't Send Me. And it talked about all the places that she was promised, you know, if she was good during this life. And she was saying, don't tell me about that stuff. Tell me about now. Let's make heaven on earth if we can. All right? So I started thinking about that. Yay. You got to think to this. Don't promise me a mansion in the sky. The reservation starts the moment I die. No mortgage to pay, there's no money anyhow. It's so much less messy than the here and now. Don't promise me a fountain of youth. Politicians will tell the truth. Billionaires have my best interest at heart. Must I leave this earth before the benefits start? Now what I see is paradise. We're all one big family and everybody's nice. The music is jazz and the season is fall. Promise me this or nothing at all. Everyone's at the table with a full plate. No one will profit from preaching hate. One big reunion of the family of men. When someone says, trust me, you actually can. Now, brown, what I see is paradise. We're all one big family, and there's just no reason not to be nice. The music is jazz, and the season is fall. Well, promise me this or nothing at all. Shame and guilt, they're off the list. Eternal damnation will not be missed. Everyone will have walked in everybody else's shoes. Now someone grab a harp, lay down the truth. Now what I'd like to see, if I had my way, I would say, Microsoft and Apple merged and became a nonprofit. The state of Florida would stop it, just stop it. The U.S. House of Representatives would stop being bedlam. And the people who want to ban books will have actually read them. My wife's a librarian. I have to sing that, right? Equal pay for equal work. Now that's not equal pay. This is when I wrote this afternoon. Anyway, it ends up like this. White men in suits will obey the rules they made. Moms for Liberty were just pulling our leg. Maya Angelou comes back and says, I like what you're doing with this, Greg. And I say, Ms. Angelou, I know you're above it, but if you would just say my name in Southern again one more time, I would really, really love it. Greg, don't promise me, don't promise me. Don't promise me. Well, tonight is a confluence of so many things. I feel so privileged to be standing in front of you in this beautiful, beautiful building. And I have people here that I went to college with. The College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia. That's about it right there, yeah. What? Usually they used to make fun of our name, like giving football scores. Like if you beat William and Mary, it just sounded like it was just terrible. So these are my friends, and it is so good to see you. They live up the road a little bit, not far from here. And of course, my incredible friend, Cadence Carroll, who lives not far from here, who you will see a little bit later, because we cannot be in the same room and not play music together. So, hey, that's what you can look forward to. And today is International Ukulele Day. I happen to have one. Unbelievable. So, to my William and Mary people, you will know that there was no minors when we went to school. They didn't have minors. But I did so many anthropology classes that they made me go away. They said, you're stealing hours from the majors. So you think to yourself, what in the world would a songwriter do with anthropology? Well, I had no idea what it was myself when I went into the class, because I had no idea how to do registration. So I came late. So, you have to make use. Like that. I have learned from my mistakes and can repeat them exactly. So this song, just because we're just we are history. As we sit in our chairs, we are history. We are the collection of DNA that has existed for all of time. It's all of us right here, right now. We are our history. So we have those old rivers flowing in us. So for Dr. Sutcliffe, who was my teacher back then, I heard something you said. The river was a danger in the dawn of time, risks of life a dividing line, boundaries that humankind would heed. As long as that river stayed deep and wide, the people lived in a world divided. Forever as a river, so it would be. If you're gonna build a bridge, you gotta go all the way, make it to the other side before you're done. There is just no halfway across a deep divide. Over the rising tide, gotta build a bridge. That was a long, long time ago. Now there is no place we can't go. Mountain high, valley low, ocean deep. But that old river stayed here inside, still won't make it to the other side. Till we find the will to build a bridge. If you're gonna build a bridge, you gotta go all the way, make it to the other side before you're done. There is just no halfway across a deep divide. Over the rising tide, gotta build a bridge. Will all our words fail us in the end? Or is it we will fail them? What are the children going to say? Living in a world left in our wake, stumbling on mistakes that we have made. Will the insurmountable of our time be the distance between hearts and minds? We never found the will to build a bridge. If you're gonna build a bridge, you gotta go all the way. Make it to the other side before you're done. There is just no halfway across the deep divide. Over the rising tide, gotta build a bridge. Over the rising tide, gotta build a bridge. Okay. Water. There. One must hydrate. This next song, it's illustrative. I had to use a word like that. Today I was sitting at the radio station with Brian and Pam, right? Get that right? Yes. Wow. And it was fantastic. What a fun time. All 4 people at that time in the room were ex-English Lit majors. So I suspected the police were coming soon. But this song I started writing in utero. Okay. Steve, could you do me a favor? I seem to be loud coming out of my monitor. So if you could just turn the guitar down in that. The other one felt the same way. Great. Thank you. How about a hand for our sound person, Steve, who did a fantastic job. I like to thank them early in the show because it puts the pressure on them to be really good for the rest of the show. Yeah, I wrote this song. Thank you. But it just never ends. Because it's all these things that have happened to me. When I first started out, I kind of floated around. Thought it might be better somewhere else till they dragged me out. I was mistaken. Then they gave me my good name. They sent me off to school when I could talk and move around. I thought that they were joking when they said, "Shut up, sit down." I was mistaken, barely escaped with my good name. I fell in love like people do. They said, "You want to be happy?" I said, "I do." I was mistaken, barely escaped with my good name. My good name, it's all I've got. It's just who I am, it's just who I'm not. When I leave this world, I will escape with my good name. I went to see a banker. I need a loan to get clear. He said, "Man, you got nothing." I said, "That's why I'm here." I was mistaken, barely escaped with my good name. I learned about indictments. I thought it was true that when you got over 90, it sort of said something about you. I was mistaken. I hope we escape with our good name. My good name, it's all I've got. It's just who I just who I'm not. When I leave this world, I will escape with my good name. What have I learned from the school of hard knocks? Of all your possessions, everything you got, don't be mistaken, all you got is your good name. My good name, it's all I've got. It's just who I am, it's just who I'm not. When I leave this world, I will escape with my good name. Sing it with me now, everybody. My good name, it's all I've got. It's just who I am, it's just who I'm not. When I leave this world, I will escape with my good name. When I leave this world, I will escape with my good name.
Hey, water, water, water.
Who knows what that song will end up being? And who knows if it's actually me performing it? It could be AI. I can't be sure. I was raised in Richmond, Virginia, a place very different than Meriden, Connecticut. And you grow up, and the people who love you and tell you about the world tell you a story. This is true of every one of us in this room. We were all told a story. Mine was filled with grandiose statues on Monument Avenue. They're so beautiful. And then, as I started to grow up, and I started to see the world for myself, a dissonance started growing inside of me. Because I realized that the world of my parents was not the world that I am living in at this moment. And it's so much true, it just continues to evolve. So it's impossible. We all have to live by a big idea. A big idea. The big idea in the South was the glory of the South. The glory of the lost cause. And then I started reading history, and I realized that history is just a battle of PR departments. He who wins gets to write the history. So a certain kind of blindness came away from me, and I was suddenly able to see heroism and strength and resistance in people that I did not know. And I was told the story of Rosa Parks. I was told the real story of Rosa Parks. She was the second person trained to do that resistance. And the courage, to me, the largest courage of hers, was not resisting that day on the bus. She was trained for that. The real courage was the night before when her family begged her not to do it. Her fear of what would happen to everyone. So when she sat in that seat, she wasn't sitting in that seat for Rosa Parks. She was sitting in that seat for everybody. I wrote this song the year that she died, and she left us. Goodbye, Rosa. The year has changed. The one when you left us, the one you became, the ones who remember your name, and the day you would not be moved. How many tumblers fell into place? How many Sundays just had to wait? How many lifetimes waited away till the moment came down to you? If you were big, strong, and threatening, it might not be the case. Like thousands before you, blurred and erased, but you were small and defenseless, the face of grace. The moment it came down to you. I can't take no more, won't take no more. I can't take no more, I won't take no. I can't take no more, won't take no more. Ooh. Goodbye, Rosa. The year has changed. The one when you left us, the one you became, the ones who remember your name, and the day you would not be moved. The year that this happened was 55. I'd been born in Virginia, barely arrived in the bundle my fathers handed me. To their surprise, were the ears to hear you. I can't take no more, won't take no more, can't take no more, I won't take no more, can't take no more, won't take no more. Goodbye, Rosa. The year has changed. The one when you left us, the one you became, the ones who remember your name, and the day you would not be moved. Goodbye, goodbye. Day you would not be moved, and the day it came down to you. Thank you. Ooh, something is leaping onto my vocal cords. I don't know what that is. Ooh. Excuse me for a second. I'm going to hyperhydrate here. That's what that should have sounded like. Okay. It's National Ukulele Day. Yay! It's your day. Are you hearing that? see if this is trying to. There we are. On your day, you did that to me. Oh, yes. I forget. I always forget to do this. This is what you expect. Not going to happen. I actually learned to play music on a ukulele, on a baritone, slightly bigger than this. I'm the youngest of three boys, and by several years. And so you tend to get, who else is the youngest in your family? Just to see the sympathy. Okay, it's not that many. And sometimes you just don't even want to put your hand up. Because you're so used to doing it in your family. Hey, I'm down here too, So you just get dragged along to places, and so I got dragged along to adult things because my two older brothers were doing things. So I would just be sitting there, and this really nice woman came over to me seeing my miserable boredom and said, I have a ukulele in the back room. Would you like to play it? And she could have said literally anything, and I would have said yes. But I went back there, and it's one of those things where I picked it up, and it made perfect sense to me right away. And that was the beginning of my musical life. So I owe it to Ukulele Day. But I wrote a song, and I borrowed my friend's ukulele to do this. And then at a certain point, she said, I want my ukulele back. And I was on tour, so I had to mail it back to her. And then order this one, and it came in a cardboard box. It just doesn't seem right, does it? Something so personable as a ukulele in a cardboard box. But so I opened it up, brought the ukulele out, and I immediately put my hand on the neck of the ukulele, and I started doing. It's like the ukulele came with a song. So I've since ordered a whole bunch of things from that same store. It doesn't work every time. But I wrote this piece of music, and I had it for a couple of years because I wouldn't settle, because I wanted the words to be exactly right for the music. And that's when I was playing this, and I was kind of in a broken-hearted phase. You've had those, right? Where nothing is good, all is bad. Yeah. Yes. Nothing. The earth has nothing of worth in it, and mostly you yourself personally suck. You just have to deal with it. So I had a visitation from the Colombian writer Gabriel Garcia Marquez, the writer of 100 Years of Solitude, and he loved the ukulele part, but he just said, stop the moaning. Hey, who better than somebody who just died to tell you it's only life? So I wrote this song called Solamente, which means only. Solamente la vida, it's only life. And that happens a few times. If you want to sing, go right ahead. You'll get credit in Spanish class. In the mind of the brilliant sun, who are you and I beneath the shading palm, in conversation, in my imagination, I heard what you might say, solamente la vida, solamente of life. You were living hand to mouth while your patient wife lied to the landlord with empty cupboards. I heard what you might say, solamente, solamente la vida, solamente la vida. What is a dance without gravity? What is love without pain? We do everything right and it comes out wrong. We do it again and again. And if you're me, and again. My 20,000 versions of the sun, my life, have left me with an empty heart. Gobble what can be done with a slow touch. He said, don't think so much. It gets better when you sing. Solamente la vida, solamente la vida. Tell my heart it's just one day, just one day in the mind of the sun. Thank you. I feel like I need to drink gallons of water this evening. So that means it's going to be just a little while after the show before I can get to signing CDs. 'Cause I have an album that came out in a record, a CD, that came out in April of this past year. Are you guys all right with it being 2024? I mean, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Man, what happened to 2023? And that CD is called Between Hello and Goodbye, because so much has to happen between hello and goodbye. And the pandemic stuck people like me, who travel around and sing for people, in the same place, in the room, you know. All I could do was practice piano and wait for the day. And I realized that as a performer, you know, at was a certain point, I wanted to go out and grab people by the lapels on Main Street and say, hey, you want to hear a song? I mean, you got to have people. So this is a song about that, about so many more things, but about appreciating when you finally get out to see your people. Like my people over here. It's so great. So between hello and goodbye, this song focuses on the hello, hello, hello. I waded into the shadows of a warm September day. The sun slanted down on this little town like a friend from far away. Once I would not have been caught dead in a place like this. Now I'm glad to be found here alive. It's hard to explain, I thought that I became it. Now I'm late, but I finally arrived. So hello, hello, hello. So good to see your smile. I would not have made it all of this way without these good friends of mine. So hello, hello, hello. Been such a long, long time. Your faces are the moon and the stars of my September sky. I cannot walk in a straight line without going in circles, my friend. All around me, everything is moving beyond my approving, past where the sidewalk ends. Now it's more than a children's story, or less than a hero's tale. It's just what you seek here. It's just you and me here, filling in the details. So hello, hello, hello. It's been such a long, long time. Yes, places are the moon and the stars of my September sky. So hello, hello, hello. So good to see your smile. I would not have made it all of this way without these good friends of mine. Well, come September, sleep so deep. Yellow lines on the freeway invade my dream. True, but I don't. There's something warm and familiar when the shadows grow deep and long, like a stone thrown in a pool of memories, and the ripples go on and on. There's only 3 verses in this song, my friend. You're born, you live, and you die. So much has to happen between hello and goodbye. So much has to happen between hello and goodbye. So hello, hello, hello. So good to see your smile. Your faces are the moon and the stars of my September sky. So hello, hello, hello. Been such a long, long time, and would not have made it all of this way without these good friends of mine. Would not have made it all of this way without these good friends of mine. Thank you. I was driving down the New Jersey Turnpike, which, as it turns out, is a really fertile place to write songs. Who knew? You know, Exit 4 is just magic for me. Can't explain it. But I had this thought. I'd been to a memorial service for someone I knew. And, the family stood up and basically said who they were in this world. And this kind of horrified me because I thought of my family standing up and telling the world who I was. Not a chance. They really don't know me and my life like this, you know. So I decided, okay, well, then I'm going to just do it myself. I'll write it into a song. So you just play the song. That's who he was. And I thought about this idea of, you know, back in the past, if you were a famous person, if you wanted your picture, you had to get a portrait painted of you. And this is kind of like HR departments to me. You know, the idea of an HR department, like who pays them? Just thinking. But so if you commission someone to paint your painting, if they want another commission, they're going to make you look good. So that's what I'm trying to do to me here in this song. It's called If You Paint Me. If you paint me blue. Cerulean September sky. There must be a yellow sun. And something far and passing by. For I am made of all of this, a mother's love, a lover's kiss, my brother's pain, a dove, a fist, and more, and more. Above the sparkle of the sea, render me that distant thing, over hues of blues and greens, a glint of gold on fleeting wings. For I am made of all of this, a mother's love, a lover's kiss, my sister's struggle to persist, and more, and more than the hand that holds the broad brush strokes of destiny, more than you can fill in the rest of me. Frame me with translucent time, a moment like no other. Paint how you will this life of mine, a melody in colors. For I am made of all of this, a mother's love, a lover's kiss, my brother's pain, a dove, a fist, my sister's struggle to persist, and more, and more. For I am made of all of this, a mother's love, a lover's kiss, my brother's pain, a dove, a fist, my sister's struggle to persist, my father's gift, resist, resist, and more, and It took me a long time to finish that song. because I realized I hadn't talked about my father at all. And sometimes, you know, your mother has the hands-on stuff, and especially in that generation, the father is over there somewhere. But I realized that my father really gave me permission in so many ways to do what I do, because he always said, you have to do what you love. So, there. This is a public service announcement. Because you all drove here, right? This is a public service announcement for everyone who drives the highways of America, staying safe, staying alive. It only takes a couple of the ignorant, the insane, to muck it up for everyone, but this song feels your pain. To cure the scourge of America. Now there are those who can't merge peacefully. Those when all are stopped fly by in the breakdown lane. When you need one, where's a cop? They're Harleys that split traffic and do that death wish thing, but it's the squatters in the passing lane that make me want to sing. Get out of the left lane. Get out of the left lane. You're driving me insane. Get out of the left lane. Who taught you to drive a car? Who do you think you are? Well, get out, get out, get out of the left lane. There's a phalanx of big semi-trucks all lined up to draft. There's the 1 inch from your bumper, speed-addicted psychopath. There's the left to right lane floater that keeps us all on edge. But it's the squatter in the passing lane that makes us state the pledge. To cure the scourge of America. There's a blinker that's been blinking since before the last 12 towns. There's the one who screams past you, pulls in front and slows way down. For some, the rearview mirror is a long forgotten thing, but it's the squatter in the passing lane. Makes me want to sing, yeah, get out of the left lane. Get out of the left lane. You're driving me insane. Get out of the left lane. Now who taught you to drive a car? Who do you think you are? Get out, get out, get out of the left lane. Now, for those who are feeling powerless, forgotten and forlorn, done with wild hand gestures, flashing lights, blaring horns. Now there's a solution in the chorus of a song. To join the national movement, you need only sing along. To cure the scourge of America. From the access roads of Austin to the 5 out of L.A. From the Big Dig up in Boston, what the hell's a rotary anyway? From the Cross Bronx triple gridlock to the mosh pit of D.C. It's the anti-rolling roadblock, left lane vigilante, please. Yeah, get out of the left lane. Get out of the left lane. You're driving me insane. Get out of the left lane. Now who taught you to drive a car? Who do you think you are? Get out, get out, get out of the left lane. Now I'm expecting you to sing along with me because this is a useful enterprise, right? And you can use it on the way home. Get out of the left lane. Get out of the left lane. You're driving me insane. Get out of the left lane. Who taught you to drive a car? Who do you think you are? Get out, get out, get out of the left Get out, get out, get out of the left. Get out, get out, get out of the left lane. Yes, for those of you who get that, one of the first songs I wrote in my life was Driving in Massachusetts. So it's the song that got me on Car Talk. Yeah, no kidding, huh? I was telling Brian and Pam today on the radio station that I didn't hear the show. Somebody else sent the song in to Click and Clack. So I'm driving down the 5 in the mountains of Oregon, and I hear, when I tune in on NPR, and I find them, and they play my damn song. Wow, I love those guys. I mean, going into Harvard Square and seeing Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe in the window, I mean, that's phenomenal. Well, I'm one of those people who does things when they're driving, like play their melodica. It's really a great instrument to have for a traffic jam when all those people speed past you in the breakdown lane. When you need one, where's the cop? Ooh. Just a little bit of hope, everybody, a little bit of hope. Everyone, oh, my heart is broken. The work is never done. You could quit every night, tired of the fight. Up comes the morning sun, but then my heart is still beating, beating. That's where the hope comes from. Mm-hmm. That's where the hope comes from. Now, see, that's your part on the second time. That's where the hope comes from. Mm-hmm. That's where the hope comes from. Well, just a little bit of hope. Everybody, a little bit of hope. Everyone, oh, my feet are tired. The race is never run. You could quit every night, tired of the fight. Up comes the morning sun. Well, then my feet, they start moving, moving. That's where the hope comes from. Mm-hmm. That's where the hope comes from. Well, just a little bit of hope. Everybody, a little bit of hope. Everyone, oh, my hands are weary. The work is never done. You could quit every night, tired of the fight. Up comes the morning sun. Well, then my hands start working, working. That's where the hope comes from. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit of hope. Everybody, a little bit of hope. Everyone, oh, my voice is faltering. The song is barely sung. You could quit every night, tired of the fight. Up comes the rising sun. Well, then the people start singing, singing. That's where the hope comes from. Everybody start singing, singing. That's where the hope comes from. Then everybody starts singing, singing. That's where the hope comes from. I travel around the country doing a show with my friend Reggie Harris. We've been friends for 35 years. You guys know Reggie? Never seen him? Oh, you're in for a treat. You are in for a treat. Reggie is a phenomenal human being. We were born 3 days apart. Me in Richmond, Virginia, Reggie, African-American, born in Philadelphia. But his ancestry traces back to a plantation literally 5 miles from where I live right now. How amazing is that our DNA came up the James River together, in some way. And how amazing is it that we would meet in Greenwich Village at the old Village Gate Jazz Club. And we would sit in the back room of the green room because the show was really long, and so we had plenty of time to talk. But we started talking about race because we were of the generation where schools were starting to be integrated. Things were starting to happen. And we immediately just began a conversation that has been 35 years. And that's what we bring to people with Deeper Than the Skin. That's what it's called. And we don't point fingers at anybody. We just tell you our story. What it means to be friends across the divide like that. So we sing, ooh, I was born by the river in a little tent, oh, just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Sam Cooke. Wouldn't sing that song by myself without Reg. Fine to sing harmony, but not to sing lead on it. But in telling my story about growing up in a place like Richmond, Virginia, I decided to use the first lines of his verses for the first lines of my verses to sort of explain, my view of it. This is called Big Wide World, because there's one out there. You just have to find it. I was born by the river where the boats could go no farther, and the history flowed like water through my mother and my father. They said nothing good comes easy in the land of the free, and those folks over yonder, they're not like you and me. It was too hard living with what I was told. Heads were shaking at the newspapers and the radio, like the whole world had gone crazy when they heard that man say, change gonna come, oh yes it will. It's headed right this way. It's a big wide world for all to see, beyond these walls built inside of you and me, where half of the story has been raised to an art, but no lie can live forever without killing your heart. No lie can live forever without killing your heart. There are times that I thought I could leave it all behind. I could find a highway, I could cross a state line, but you could drive your whole life no matter how far. There's no map in the world of people's hearts. There's no map in the world of people's hearts. It's a big wide world all to see. Beyond these walls built inside of you and me, where half of the story has been raised to an art, but no lie can live forever without killing your heart. No lie can live forever without killing your heart. People get ready, there's a change coming. Now I'm still standing after all this time. It's the statues that have fallen in that hometown of mine. But that river keeps on flowing right on down to the sea. And those folks over yonder, they're still dying to be free. Those folks over yonder, they're still dying to be free. It's a big wide world for all to see. Beyond these walls built inside of you and me, where half of the story has been raised to an art, but no lie can live forever without killing your heart. No lie can live forever without killing your heart. People get ready, there's a change coming. Thank you. More water, please. More water. Okay. I like to play you a song that I wrote for my mom. And my mom really pretty much never understood a single lyric I wrote. But she was such a good mom. She had a workaround. You know, when she would come to my concerts afterwards, she'd say, "The people really liked you." What a great mom answer. Oh man, oh man. Woo-hoo-hoo. She was good. So I used to go home and once or twice a year, and my mom would always do the kind of a Beverly Hills hillbillies thing where, you know, we live on a kind of a cul-de-sac. So she would stand on the porch and wave to me, and then I would go around the circle and come back by, and she'd still be there waving to me, you know. And then as time went by, she would be standing there with her cane waving to me. And it became completely apparent, obviously, that time was going by and I wouldn't have my mom at some point. And I know all children have this idea that foreknowledge, that's just the deal. So after seeing that, I came home and I literally recorded this song as I was writing it. And I think I cried through the whole thing. I don't think my mom would have gotten anything I was talking about until the last verse. And I think that's kind of the metaphor for how it all worked. But both she and my dad, after giving up on the fact that I was going to produce grandchildren for them, they said, "You have to do what you love," like I said to you earlier. And I know so many people whose parents did not say this to them. And I feel like this is a gift, and that to honor that gift, I need to say I'm honoring that gift aloud to everyone I play for. So this song is called "The Weight of Feathers." You were never in the same place twice, as balls of fire and balls of ice spin in space of their own device. Somehow it holds together, and all the creatures great and small imagine life before the fall. They see their own and then guess it all. Somehow it holds together. But the time will come when the winds arise. You stare across the great divide and jump the cliffs with a dream to fly without knowing the weight of feathers. Now the curtains rise and the story's told. The gaps are filled with blood and gold. Martyrs mask the remaining holes. Somehow it holds together. And old men in their drafty homes with crowded heads and achy bones, knowing all anyone could know. Part of them young forever. They've earned their peace with an empty sky, with broken hearts, with battle cries. The day they jump the cliffs with a dream to fly without knowing the weight of feathers. Flying, falling, what's the difference now? I'll take with me your deep blue eyes, your fondest hopes, your best advice. We've disagreed almost all our lives. How could that ever matter? All those years just to provide for me the thing you could never try. To jump the cliffs with a dream to fly without knowing the weight of feathers. Yes, I jump the cliffs with a dream to fly without knowing the weight of feathers. Thank you so much. What a wonderful night. Thank you all so much. And I have to thank Frank Critelli, who just messaged me one day and said, you got to come up and play for these folks. And Frank has presented me in this area many times, but a long time ago. And so I so appreciate that, Frank. Thank you for what you're doing here, man. Thank you. And I want to thank Steve on sound, because there's a lot of crap up here, you know. Thanks so much. And for all the people who helped and made this possible, thank you so much. And for the use of this beautiful, beautiful church. So I cannot come to Connecticut and see my friend Cadence Carroll here and her djembe. And she knows not to show up without it. So we're going to end the night with this song that we have done many times together. My goodness, what a privilege. All right, so how is that? Is that going to work for you?
That'll work.
I feel like this is one of those things where, people get suspended and they tie their legs up in it's like a Las Vegas thing. Nope.
No, not really.
Okay.
But, it does the trick.
This is Cadence Carroll.
Thanks, let's do-si-do.
All right. So if you sang, would that work?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. And I think
Okay.
that they'll hear the drum.
All right, that's good.
It's a beautiful room.
Oh, it is. It is.
Just gonna do this.
I can see you now.
I know, this is perfect.
This is a song that sort of waits in my guitar case for me at the end of every night. And I don't know, it's just sort of a culmination of so many things in my life. And it's borrowed from a little-known Irish band named U2. It took an Irish band to really, when they went and visited this National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, this song started. And I love this song, In the Name of Love. And when I went there, I really wanted to incorporate my life into it, because to see the National Civil Rights Museum is the Lorraine Motel where Dr. King was assassinated. And to understand the courage that that man had, and his hero before him, Gandhi. No matter how bad you think it is, somebody has gone through something 10 times as bad. And it's like the song says, that's where the hope comes from. Your heart's still beating, your feet's still moving, your hand's still working. That's where the hope comes from. But the hope also comes from the example of people who have shown us that we do not have to accept the way of the world. Yes. So thank you so much, everybody. When I get tired, it's like I was dropped into the sea. You could swim your whole life and be nowhere you want to be. Everyone gets tired, and the water is so wide. Well, then somebody comes and shows you. They show you the other side, the other side. And there was a little man, barefoot and frail. He took a walk down to the Ganges, took a lion by the tail. He made a way out of no way. One by one they saw the truth. He was ready when they told him. They said, history chooses you. We see so far. In the name of love we are standing on. In the name of love, the shoulders of giants. One more. In the name of love. And then there was another lion and a lamb. He walked into the heart of darkness, into the streets of Birmingham. He made a way out of no way. One by one we saw the truth. He was already on the mountaintop when they said, Memphis chooses you. We see so far. In the name of love we are standing on. In the name of love, the shoulders of giants. One more. in the name of love. And you can sing this with us. In the name of love, in the name of love. One more, in the name of love. April 4th, shots rang out in the Memphis sky. Free at last, they took your life, they could not take your pride. In the name of love, one more in the name of love. In the make a way out of no way. Make their stories live and breathe. And we will never lack for heroes in our darkest hour of need. In the name of love, in the name of love, one more in the name of love. Cadence, Carol, thank you all so much. Thank you.
Hey, folks, that's Greg Greenway right there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, you guys remember Kayla Farnham too, right?
Thanks, Steve.
And remember that guy, Al Raybuck? Folks, thank you so much for being here tonight.